Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watching is here with your latest update on the tropics. Today, we really don't have a lot going on. We really only have one tropical storm going on, and that tropical storm Wanda, the last name on our current list in the North Atlantic. Tropical storm Wanda there, very shady. You can kind of see a majority of the convection to the north and to the west of the low-level circulation. LLC is roughly right there. There is some convection trying to wrap around it, but it currently has maximum sustained wind of about 45 knots. That's about 50 miles per hour. The air pressure is about 992 millibars. Its radius maximum wind is 35 nautical miles. So this is currently what we're looking at right here. We got 50 nautical miles to the northwest, 50 nautical miles to the northeast. This is of tropical storm force winds. 50 nautical miles to the southwest and 50 nautical miles to the southeast. So it is a very even, complete circle of tropical storm force winds all the way around the center of circulation. 50 nautical miles northeast, northwest, southeast, and southwest of the LLC. So we take a look at the satellite imagery, and we'll talk about this. So this is the convection, which you can kind of see bubbling up right there. It was quite a bit right there, but it's died down now. But that's what we're looking at right now. Convection, which we're trying to wrap around, but kind of see just fell apart as the convection wrapped around like this. Completely just sort of fell apart, trying to come back to life again. So see if that happens with this tropical system. It's making its way back to the north, so certainly we'll watch how this storm looks like throughout the day, give a little updates on it. But currently not a whole lot to talk about in terms of the development of this tropical disturbance and the tropical storm. We do have a tropical wave that is in the Caribbean Sea. It is going to move into the East Pacific, and that is where it has a chance of tropical cyclone development. And also another system in the East Pacific, which we'll have to watch out for. The event develops as anything. Nothing going on in the West Pacific. Yesterday was the first start of the 2021-2022 South Pacific and Australian region cyclone season. Nothing going on down there at the moment. Really, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Just going to do a quick update. We do an update once every 6 hours, 7 a.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Central Time. And then if there's an update where we have to track a tropical cyclone, hurricane, typhoon, tropical disturbance, whatever it may be, we will do an update once every 3 hours if warnings have been initiated. Starting at 7 a.m., 10 a.m., all times are in Central Time. 7 a.m., 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 7 p.m., and 10 p.m. But if it's really bad, I may even have to do streams all night and all day. It really is just going to depend on what happens with that. But now we'll be doing videos instead of just streams. So if there's a hurricane, typhoon, cyclone, disturbance, tropical system, whatever it may be developing, we will actually do a live video, just a video update, quick video update, so we don't have to have these long, drawn-out videos, and we would get more views and get the word out more about tropical cyclones and systems around the world, the tropics. So we'll be moving on to that. This is the last month, end of the hurricane season. We'll be moving on to regular, just doing videos. Then we'll do live videos if we need to do a regular video, if we need to. But we'll do a live video if there is a tropical cyclone imminent to threaten land at that time. But yeah, let's just continue talking about Tropical Storm Wanda as it continues to just wander out there. It really is doing nothing, just wandering out there. Really just, it became fully tropical yesterday. So that's what we're looking at here. If I pull this up, take a look, and see what we're looking at here at the... so again, feel free to answer or comment any comments, questions, or concerns you have on any tropical system. This is just, a quick tropical update about this one system here. And we'll also talk about anything going on in the West Pacific and the East Pacific. We can still see some tropical systems developing in the East Pacific, but they're not expected to threaten land. This is what we're looking at with Tropical Storm Wanda dying out right now. It's going to be dying out later, not now. It's not dying out quite yet, but making its way back north, that is when we will see it start to fall apart because it won't have all that energy with it. So if we go to the National Hurricane Center, you'll see here is Wanda currently has a maximum sustained winds of about 50 miles per hour there. 992 millibars, currently moving to the east-northeast at about 8 miles per hour, so it is speeding up. This tropical cyclone has a 0% chance of tropical cyclone development, so you do not have to worry about that. If we go in the next several days, you can see this has a 30% chance of tropical cyclone development in the next 5 days. At 5 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021, an area of low pressure located over the southwestern Caribbean Sea. I moved my mouse by accident. Near Costa Rica is forecast to move across Central America today and over the far eastern Pacific waters on Wednesday. Some slow development of the system is possible thereafter, while it moves westward at around 10 miles per hour. So again, there is high pressure sitting over Texas, Louisiana. It is moving counterclockwise like this, which is why you can kind of see this is moving this direction, this is moving the next direction. If there's another storm here, it would be moving in this direction, be moving farther this way, be moving around. There's a system here be coming right towards California because the high pressure would be pulling it around that ridge. It would draw it towards California. And so we got high pressure over the south central United States. And that's why this is not moving north into the Gulf of Mexico and developing up here because, again, we have high pressure over south central United States. So that's why all these storms are just there's no chance for this to move back and be like, no, I'm going to come up here. It's not going to happen. It's going to literally move in this general direction to the west because of high pressure. Also, the steering current of the atmosphere. This system right here, as of 5 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. An area of low pressure is expected to form later this week, several hundred miles south of the southwestern coast of Mexico. Some slow development of the system is possible thereafter, while it moves westward to west-northwestward at 5 to 10 miles per hour. 0% in the next 48 hours, 20% in the next 5 days. Really, not a lot going on. Let's take a look at the Central Pacific. As you can see, nothing happened at or near the country. I keep saying the country of Hawaii. I don't know why. The state of Hawaii. So let's take a look at the Joint Typhoon Warning Center to see. They're showing, as you can see, there is nothing going on in the Westpac, in the Indian Pacific, in the Bay of Bengal, near the Arabian Peninsula area, South Indian Ocean, South Pacific Ocean, South East Pacific Ocean near New Zealand. Nothing happening near Australia, Papua New Guinea, Singapore, the Philippines, and the West Pacific. Nothing's going on there. But however, I do want to just take a look at the models just because if something does develop, I want to make sure to talk about it because there's always still a chance. We are moving into November. I do remember back in 2013, Typhoon Haiyan did develop around the 13th. I want to say it was the 13th, 14th of November of 2013, and it was a completely catastrophic typhoon, sustained wind of 195 miles per hour when it made landfall there in the Philippines. I can't remember the name of the town, and I'm kind of mad about it. I can't remember. But like I was saying, there's actually the high pressure is much farther to the north, although I was sitting farther to the south because we're getting clear skies, but high pressure is sitting relatively far to the north. So fucking stupid. Kind of makes me mad. I didn't know that. So yeah, it was for sure. The high pressure was right down, like, over, actually right here, like, over in this area. But no, it was way up here. Kind of makes me mad. I didn't know that. Watching that system. Literally nothing seems to develop. Maybe something out of the, right here has a chance of development. We'll have to watch to see if this right here does develop. This would be, it probably starts with an A. I can't remember the name of it. This will be our very first storm on our new auxiliary list. I'm going to actually pull that up. 2021 auxiliary list. Oh, wait. I can't do that because I forgot. I get copywritten for that because I'm posting that on my YouTube channel. Oh, what was I thinking? Anyway, whatever. I should have just pulled that up on my phone because I'm not thinking. Anyway, regardless, nothing going on there. I'm probably going to get this video struck down. Crap, that might be bad. Anyway, so there's the tropical development of this tropical cyclone here. Possibly 1,001 millibars, but as you can see, relatively just sort of it tries to develop there in the Bahamas, but because now you would assume this would be moving to the west because of the high pressure. Because the high pressure is moving so quickly and moves away so rapidly, it's able to kind of gain latitude because you can kind of see it's sort of like it becomes and develops out of this trough right here over Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica area. Then kind of moves over the southern Bahamas, southeastern Bahamas right there, and then makes its way north. Looks like it looks its best right here. Tight LLC relatively, got some banding right here, so there's definitely beyond just a wave. You can kind of see it's completely closed right there, which would mean this would be a tropical storm, tropical depression, or possibly a tropical storm. It's possible. In terms of meter wind, yeah, there you go. You can kind of see about 34 to 40 knots, which is 40 to 45 mile per hour sustained winds. So that's possibly we've seen tropical storms. So there's that. I mean, we might be dealing with the tropical cyclone, tropical system there, but good news is it would not bring tropical storm force winds to the coast of South Carolina or North Carolina. It would dissipate. You can kind of see the remnants of it are roughly right in this region. Right in that region of North Carolina. So yeah, so we'll could possibly be watching out with that in that region there. So, I mean, really not a whole lot more of anything else developing except for that one tropical cyclone. We'll have to see. I'm very, very interested to see if that does develop. Hold up, y'all. So I do want to talk about the East Pacific because there could potentially be some tropical cyclone activity developing in the East Pacific. But it appears that the high pressure sitting will be moving and keeping these storms away from developing. I'm sorry, that didn't make any sense. Keeping these storms away from the coast. As you can see, this doesn't get very strong. Okay, it kind of gets kind of strong. Kind of intensifies pretty quickly there. As you can see, 982 millibars right there. Let's take a look and see. Potentially could be seeing maximum sustained winds. We could be seeing maximum sustained winds probably at or near above hurricane force. So there's 50 knots, there's 60 knots. There could be seeing 65 knots here, 70 knots. So very, very close to seeing 70 mile per hour winds. So 70, 75 mile per hour sustained winds. And then it weakens and falls apart and it's gone and it never comes back. Taking a look at the West Pacific, because literally nothing ever develops in the Central Pacific. Just kind of like a look and see what we're looking at with these systems, because there's always a possibility of something potentially developing there in the systems. Okay. Still the possibility of something developing near Vietnam. So we got to watch that area of disturbed weather down here in the future. Which again, is all this stuff is very far in the future. And it's nothing that we need to watch out right now. It's just something to keep out a look for in terms of development of that in the future. So if that stays consistent, consistency is what we look for. in terms of tropical development. If it's consistent for a while, that's something we're going to need to keep an eye out on, and we might need to watch for any tropical development there in the future. But because it's so far out in the future, we don't need to watch and wait for it to develop because it doesn't exist yet. It doesn't exist. It's so far out in the future that there's no clouds associated with that area of low pressure at the moment. Taking a look at the Indian region, because there could be potentially, last I looked, which was last night, the potential for tropical cyclone developing there, and making landfall at or near, yeah, there it is, still very close there, right off the coast, 998 millibars, as you can see, producing very, very heavy amounts of rain. And it kind of moves inland there. So that's something we're also going to have to watch out for, in case that, kind of see, here's the LLC, oops, LLC's right there, roughly right here, kind of see the shrimp look, which kind of shows it's probably, it doesn't have, maybe there's some dry air trying to inhibit more development, but we'll have to see what that storm looks like upon landfall. I'm very, very excited to see what we're going to be dealing with that. Now, in terms of, let's say what we're looking at with the Indian Ocean and all in general, this was the remnants of Invest 93S down here. It is falling apart. It no longer exists. It is no longer an area of tropical concern. I mean, maybe something developing a little way, way later, but we'll have to see. Now taking a look at the Australian region. Because we do want to take a look at the Australian region because there's always a possibility of something developing in Australia. Multiple storms made landfall in Australia at the beginning of the year. Earlier this year, so we got to watch any kind of tropical development and any type of tropical cyclonic activity. There happens to be nothing. Literally, there's literally nothing happening. So that's what we're looking at right here. Nothing really developing. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center not showing any areas of tropical concern. So really there's nothing to talk about right now, but we will do another update at 1 p.m. Central Time. Very, very, as you could, it's not what I'm looking for. Visible, okay. That's what we're looking at right here, ladies and gentlemen. Not a whole lot to talk about, not a whole lot to look at. But this is what we are looking at and dealing with tropical storm. Can't even remember the name of this storm I'm even talking about. With this tropical cyclone right here, Tropical Storm Wanda. So that's it for today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. We will give you another tropical weather outlook at 1 p.m. Central Time. Don't forget to like the video. Feel free to subscribe if you want more tropical weather updates from the Hurricane Watch Team. We talk about weather all around the world, not just the North Atlantic, the East Pacific, the Central Pacific, the West Pacific, the Indian Ocean, the South Indian Ocean, the South Pacific, even the South Atlantic. That's the one last area I forgot to look at. I'm so glad I've actually brought that up off the top of my head. There was someone on Twitter saying there could possibly be the development of a tropical cyclone in the South Atlantic Ocean, which I'm going to actually talk about that right now. And look at the models, because I completely forgot about the South Atlantic Ocean. I feel like the South Atlantic is a place that people forget about a lot. So the development of that is still possible. We're going to take a look at that right now and see if that does in fact occur. If we do still see that modeling still showing that, because that can be a little bit concerning. Are you serious? Does it already exist? Does that thing already exist and I'm just this ignorant? Wow. Wow. Well, There is a cluster of thunderstorms on here. Let's take a look and put this into motion and see what we got going on down here. Definitely an area of cluster of thunderstorms. If this is rotating clockwise, we could be dealing with a tropical cyclone developing off the coast of Rio de Janeiro. I don't know how to pronounce it. I want to make sure we put this into motion. Lots of convection I'm noticing right here. It does appear to be some rotation right here trying to wrap around the LLC right here. We could be dealing with a potential tropical development of a tropical system developing off the coast of Rio de Janeiro. If I swear, if this develops. And I catch this on video, stream, that'd be cool. Look at that. Looks like it's trying to... That's pretty cool. I cannot believe I have completely didn't even noticed this. Would you look at that? Would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? A tropical disturbance developing off the coast of Rio de Janeiro. Alright, well, let's take a look at models and see where it's going to go. It's literally at its strongest right now, it appears. Wow. Pretty fascinating. So there's that system. Wow. Pretty darn incredible, isn't it? So that's what we're looking at right here in this area. So, I mean, I'm really glad I brought that up because I almost completely forgot. Now, I have to do some more research to see if this is actually an area of low pressure. If it's a broad area, more broad, I have to look at the isobars and stuff like that, kind of do some of my investigation on this. If it's relatively broad, it might be an upper level low. But it looks relatively tight. You can kind of see it kind of wrapping around right there, kind of doing that action. So if that is, that could potentially be an area of low pressure developing off the coast of Rio de Janeiro. We'll be giving more updates in case this does develop into something. So, I mean, I completely forgot. I'm so glad I brought that up because people in the South Atlantic have lives too. People live down there too. Let me just, Okay, the thing near Brazil is an X. It's a frontal. It is not a low-level system. It's a frontal system. I was like, is that an area of low pressure? It looks like it. I was just like, it's a frontal boundary. I kind of thought, I mean, it kind of looks like that. It's got a frontal boundary right here. You can kind of see the frontal boundary right here. But it's kind of, for me, I like, it's not an area of low pressure. But no, it is, in fact, an upper-level low. It is not an area of low pressure. I was slightly terrified for a second. I was like, there's an area of low pressure off the coast, and I missed it. I did not miss anything. It's just a frontal boundary. That's me of today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. And we will definitely talk later today. Yeah, definitely a upper level low. I got to be able to recognize these things a little bit better. Alright, guys. That's me of today, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your morning. And we will talk to you guys later today. With all that being said, have a wonderful rest of your morning. And we'll talk to you guys at the 1 p.m. update. Peace out.